Koutou katoa ro rangatira mā, ko Rebecca aho, kia ora.
Kia ora.
I'm here today on behalf of TEDx CHCH to share my experiences of diverse team cultures within our TEDx CHCH team, a team that I've been part of for the past 8 years. During that time I've had a number of roles, but primarily in the volunteer coordination role. I joined TEDx after the 2011 earthquakes. I really wanted to do something positive to the city, for the city, and while my children were still young, they were at kindy and at primary school, I had a little bit of spare time, so I thought I need to get out a little bit wider than my community. Hey, I love TED. How about I get involved in TEDx CHCH? So I met Kyla Colvin, who's our current licensee and curator of TEDx CHCH, and the rest is history. The current TEDx CHCH organising team stands at 15 dedicated individuals. Some of them are here in the audience tonight, and also maybe some past organisers and volunteers. Yes, I'm looking at you, Marty. We've got a really diverse team. We've got some PhD candidates in the audience, we have entrepreneur leaders, we have lawyers, we've recently graduated high school students, business owners and consultants. So we're a pretty diverse team. So first of all, I'll give you some background about TEDx CHCH because some of you may not know how the organisation runs. So TED is the global organisation of TEDx, and their mission is the ideas worth spreading. That is the goal, ideas worth spreading. A TEDx event is a local, independently organised gathering where live talks and videos previously recorded at TED are shared with a community. And the idea is to unleash some new ideas, provoke discussion and really inspire people. All TEDx events have very strict frameworks and rules, including offering diverse topics with multiple issues, diverse voices. Curating TEDx CHCH takes a lot of work. What we do is, it involves hours and hours of identifying potential speakers, balancing topics, getting the diversity of speakers in the room, and then multiple invitations to make sure that we do have a diverse range of speakers. And then many hours of coaching, refining and encouraging for that final event. TEDx CHCH talks have been viewed more than 9 million times online, which is a great achievement. TEDx CHCH is one of the most successful TEDx events in the country. And TEDx CHCH started in 2010 with a very small group of attendees, less than 100, and we grew to 1,250 in 2015, 2016, and next year is our 10-year anniversary, which also coincides with the TEDx Global 10-year anniversary. So that's a little bit of background about how TEDx works. Big thing is that TEDx is a volunteer endeavour. So no speakers, volunteers can be paid, and all sponsorship funds and ticket sales go directly into running a successful event. We know that a great TEDx event means recruiting a really great team of organisers to plan the event months in advance. Plus, we recruit, train and manage a team of volunteers to carry out the tasks on the day required to make the event a success. And there can be up to 80 volunteers actually helping out on the day, plus a team of up to 20 organisers, plus all the contractors. So it's a big team all up. And these diverse teams help build a diverse TEDx community. So, how do we recruit our volunteers? We look for dedicated people, passionate about TEDx and ideas worth spreading. Building a team involves searching for people who can get the job done. They need to be really organised, often self-managing and really hard-working. We don't just invite our friends to the teams, especially those who know each other. We recognise it's really important that to have a variety of interests so that when it comes to our core team, we don't run the risk that the event will be less interesting without the wide range of views and input, which builds on what Saran was saying earlier. You get those diversity of ideas, you're going to get a much better output at the end. The other thing we do is every year we aim to improve on what we're offering. And this year, led by TEDx Christchurch team member Erica Austin, we have established a specific diversity and inclusion role. And this is in an effort to extend our reach within the Christchurch area. And I think that this new role really signals a mark of maturity for our event. And it's our take of positive action, affirmative action, to formally engage with communities we may have only just touched on in the past. We're also working with organisations who are excluded from many sort of mainstream opportunities to fill the huge number of volunteer roles that we're going to need in 2019. We're going big in 2019. We're hosting a two-day event in the town hall and working alongside a youth team. 4 years ago, when our event was in the Isaac Theatre Royal, we established the ambassador volunteer role to welcome and care for those attendees who potentially came alone or had access needs, given all the tricky sites we had to host our events at. Often we were hosting in the Isaac Theatre Royal, closing the road, and then having a whole village in the car park across the road. So we needed a lot of people to support those and include all those attendees who may have had access difficulties. And while we've got a number of really loyal repeat attendees with access needs, we're formally adopting the excellent Christchurch City Council accessibility guidelines, and I really encourage you to look out for those if you're not aware of those. It's a great checklist. So, another recent development was to build successful teams was to create a set of volunteer guidelines, and these align how our teams work. This helps to sort of set expectations for both the organising team and the volunteers. And we asked the organisers to sign this agreement that lists the expectations of them over the course of the event planning process. And this includes things like guidelines for communication, etiquette, time commitment, deadlines, and understanding how to represent the TEDx vision. We also ask volunteers to sign similar guidelines for event day roles. And one of my favourites for those on-the-day volunteers when things are hugely busy is guideline number 2. We are the they, and they should fix that. That seems to go down treat. So in summary, with my experience as volunteer coordinator in TEDx Christchurch, diverse teams really do help build a diverse communities. Diverse speakers give diverse ideas. Organisers also bring different ideas. A range of organisers bring different ideas. Attendees and their interactions with each other, and volunteers and their care and attention to the event. Volunteers really can make or break a successful event. And a reminder that when you're forming your teams, don't just invite your friends to the team. And setting expectations with the team helps deliver alignment for diverse teams and ultimately a high quality event. And just to sum up, this is one of my favourite quotes from an attendee that really, I think, points to or summarises our diverse and inclusive community. I just like to imagine Queen Elizabeth II in drag. Thanks.